If you want an easy way to send out a survey to people, you want to create a Google form. Go ahead into your Drive and press New, and then More to find Google Forms. Once you click on it, an untitled form will be created. Just a note about changing the title of the form. This is something that someone else will be able to see. So be aware that it's not just the name of your file, it's the title of the actual form itself. So the other people you send it to will be able to see that. There's also a form description area and then an area to create questions. Over here, if you'd like to change the color, you can actually click here and change the color of the form. This eyeball is how you would preview it so that you could see what other people would see as opposed to the editing mode that you're in. And settings allows you to adjust some things. For example, do you want it to collect the person's email address when they submit the form? Do you want to restrict it only to Easton Public Schools users, or do you want to open it up to the community outside of Easton Public Schools? Do you want to limit their responses? Should they be able to edit it after they submit it? And you want the people to see a summary of the other responses that people have made. You can also shuffle questions, add a progress bar, and then there's an option for quizzes for teachers if they're creating quizzes and grading them through there. In order to create a question, it's pretty simple. An automatic question will be added to every single form when you first create it. But to add a question from scratch, you just press the plus sign and a question will be created. It defaults to multiple choice or the last choice that you've made. So I'm just going to say, what is your favorite color? I have the choice of short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes if you want someone to check more than one, drop-down menu, file upload actually allows someone to attach a file to it, linear scale like a Likert scale on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel? Multiple choice grid allows you to check more than one option under a certain grid. Date and time are options to collect. For example, if you said what date would work best for you, but just so you know that the answers that people give are time stamped automatically. So you don't need to ask them what the day and time is of that they're submitting their answers. I'm going to stick with multiple choice. In order to put an answer in here, I'm just going to click on that and type red, press add option for blue. You can even add a picture, if you see this icon right here, to your answer. You can pull it from the Google Drive. You can upload it from your computer. I'm just going to actually search the internet right now for the color blue. And once I find one I like, I press select. This will actually put the picture under the answer so someone gets a better idea of what they're answering. And finally, you can even add the word other as an option for filling in an other option. You can duplicate the question, delete the question, or make it required. This would mean that they can't even submit the form unless they've answered this question. And then there are other more advanced options, like if you say blue, you're going to go to section 2. If you say green, you go to section 1. Or even shuffling the options. So it doesn't say red then blue, it says blue then red. So those are more advanced options that you have. Right now I have 2 questions, this untitled one and the original one. If I want to switch the order of that, I just click on these bars at the top, the little dots at the top, and I can actually drag and move them around to flip-flop the questions and then drop it where I want. You can also add text, which would be like a title and description. If you wanted to create distinct sections, you can add images. You can even add YouTube videos. And you can add distinct section pages. For example, if I press add section right now, it's going to create a new page called section 2 that I can have a whole new title. And you can even choose what happens when you're done with section 1. Do you go straight to section 2? Do you submit, etc.? When I'm ready to go, I need to check on the responses side of things. And what I do is just press this green button. It creates a new spreadsheet, a Google Sheet, that will collect the responses. It'll already have, like I said, a timestamp and the question column set up. And the cool thing about this is when I press send, I can send it to anyone I want. I can do that through a link or send it via email. So if I click on email, I can actually create a Gmail right here. If I click on link, I can actually copy and paste the link. I'm going to send it an email to someone so that they can see. And I can even make a subject and a message to them. And then press send. Automatically, the person will get an email of the form. So here's that person, and they can fill out the form. It'll take them right to the survey that you've created, and they'll be able to answer any of it. For example, I'm going to choose option 1 right here, and I actually am going to choose blue and press next. There's nothing on the next section that we created, but I'll press submit when I'm done. It assures me that my response has been recorded to confirm. And just so that you know, this happens instantly. So you'll see on the other side of things, on your side, I already have one response recorded, and it gives me charts and graphs as to what those responses are. But in the spreadsheet, it also collects the data. So this would be wonderful if you wanted to analyze that data later on, like, for example, find the sum or average of responses or collect how many instances someone said blue. So it creates both options. First is within the form. Again, here's my form, and I click responses, and I have actual summary of data as well as individual responses. Or if I were to click on this green thing, I could go straight to the sheet and it collects it right there. This is all done automatically, as I said, so that the data goes in both places. To find these again, some people have a little bit of trouble. Just so that you know, in your Google Drive, sample is the name of my form and it's purple. Sample will also say responses next to it is the green one, which is my spreadsheet of the responses. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to email me.